In this video, I want to talk about a social media diet, which is a term I hadn't used before, and I'm not even really all that concerned with exactly what the definition is. But I do want to talk about the concept as I think it could mean, and how, as I recently went on over the course of the past few days. So you might have noticed that prior to the videos that are coming out today, I went like 4 or 5 days without doing videos. Which, if you've been following the channel for a really long time, you're probably expecting over the 2 weeks that I was uploading videos, when is he going to quit? But it wasn't really the same situation as it's been in past times that I've started uploading content to the channel. I didn't do videos for 4 or 5 days for a very particular reason. And it wasn't that I was just busy or that I was out of town. It's that the news reached a critical mass of depressing and angering and sad. There can just be too much tragedy combined with so much happiness from right-wingers that bad things are happening, that they find a silver lining in things like the Dallas shooting. That many people looked at that and said, this is an immense tragedy that so many cops were killed. We don't want that. The whole point is to stop violence. And we're not, the idea that if cops are being killed, that's somehow a good thing, that only makes sense to an insane person. And unfortunately, there are insane people in this country. And so there were people for whom those 5 cops being shot made it one of the best days of the year for them, if not their lives. And so there were many people who were incredibly happy about it. And there was bad news with, obviously, the results of the Clinton thing. And there was the Alton Sterling shooting. And then there was the Castle shooting. Like, there was just so much tragedy. And under normal circumstances, when things are just chugging along the way they're supposed to be, that's what I cover, is I do videos about that sort of stuff. But at some point, the news combined with the social media aspect of it just makes it so I don't want to do it. I just have to back off from it. Especially when it's stuff that in a lot of cases I'm also talking about on the Young Turks. I just can't make myself do videos about it because I don't want to think about it for the extra hours that would be required to make the content about it. And to some extent, that's an abdication of whatever small amount of duty I actually have on this channel. But you have to take care of your health, your emotional health, your psychological health. And that's where I think a social media diet can actually make a lot of sense. And so, look, social media diets in the long run are about as appealing to me as a regular diet. Not engaging in social media, not doing social media. I'm not going to stop doing that. But I do think that at a certain point, you have to be careful about what sorts of information you're putting into your head and how much, how often. Are you just eating all day long with social media? Are you eating pure junk food, stuff that's terrible for you? And in a lot of cases, Twitter for me is like that. Now, Instagram is a little bit different because there are elements of Instagram that I hate, that I think they're terrible, but I just don't follow those accounts, and so I don't see it. Whereas with Twitter, there's the element of people being able to easily reach out to you and message you. And I don't know, I know that a lot of people in the media, a lot of people in this industry, whatever it is, have decided to step back from it. And so many people will tweet, and that might lead you to believe that they're also reading tweets, but they're really not. They open their Twitter to tweet, and then they stop. I'm not ready to do that. I don't want to do that. But I do recognize that constantly being plugged into the most vocal, the most emotional takes on every issue, every piece of news, everything that happens 24 hours a day, it's not just hypothetically exhausting. I know from my own personal experience that it takes it out of you, man. And it makes me not want to keep doing this, at least for a little while. I need like days to recover. And in the long run, I have to think about what's good for me and what's good for even this channel. And to some extent, that might mean backing off of social media a little bit. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to talk to fans or viewers or anything like that, or talk to people for whom I am a fan or a viewer. But to just constantly be exposed to awful people, and then people on our side, which I've talked about this recently, that are just trying to get something out of the news, that they by talking about it, they want something, they want views, or they want money, they want to show that they're the most lib or the most tolerant or whatever, and they're just being so fake and exploitative. If you tweet 15 times about something in a short period, man, it's because you're trying to tweet about it. And at some point, I can't take the things that are said, but I also can't take how obvious the psychology behind the person doing the tweeting, whether they're on my side or on the other side. I just can't take it. I don't like to see humans in their most base form. And the news exposes us to that, and social media does as well. And so I'm not going to say that I'm on a social media diet, but I am being a little bit more conscious of the social media I consume. And while I am making videos right now, I'm going to try to go day to day in a way that makes it so that I can keep doing this. I don't know. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you have an easier time consuming the entire buffet of social media without letting it get to you. If you have any tips, feel free to post them below.